welcome to the Rock Studios booth at Automation Fair. I'm Juliana Ackerbloom and I'm on the social media team here at Rockwell Automation, and I'm so excited to be here in the booth today to discuss some STEM highlights and how our programs and involvement are shaping and inspiring future engineers. We hope you were able to make it to Automation Fair here with us in Chicago, but if you're viewing from home, we welcome you to jump into the chat of this live stream to say hi or tell us what you're interested in learning about with Rockwell's involvement in STEM. And of course, comment any questions you have and we will get you those answers shortly after this video. All right, let's get started. Here with me is Rockwell's Caitlin Barra and Vidor Frabetti, and they will be sharing how they have expanded first in both Australia and Brazil. Caitlin and Vidor, thank you for taking some time to chat with me.
It's a pleasure.
It's an honor to be here.
Awesome. Well, as you both know, Rockwell and our employees care deeply about the communities where we live and work. And one way we bring that to life is through our partnership with FIRST Robotics, supporting students from all over the world in these STEM programs. And we now have over 200 employees who volunteer as mentors, judges, and referees to help shape the next generation of innovators. So Caitlin, let's start with you. I know when we were chatting before this, you mentioned Rockwell mentors 30 teams in Australia?
Yeah, we do, 30. And
Wow.
we started with like 2 or 3 regularly each year. Then about 2 years ago, we went from 2 to 30.
Oh my gosh.
Amazing. And
Yeah.
I think there's 2 main ingredients we've had such success. One is a really passionate employee who drove enthusiasm through all of our employees in Australia, and he tried to encourage them to sign up to mentors. He's been a rock star.
Yeah.
I think the other secret ingredient is we now have like a mini FIRST competition at our Rock Live, which is like a mini automation fair in Australia. So we host about 6 to 8 teams each year. We've done it for 3 years now, so that we can showcase FIRST to our partners, exactly like what we're doing here.
Yeah.
That has driven support in our employees and also in our ecosystem, in our wider community.
That's
It's
great.
been fantastic.
Yeah, and it's awesome to see the first teams right in front of you so you can see what's happening, you know?
Yeah.
So can you give us also an example of how one of your teams has done some outreach work?
Yeah, so they're all amazing, they're all inspiring, they all want to give back, but by a combination of some fantastic coincidences, we had a global account manager of a mining company who was a mentor to a FIRST FRC team. That team lived in a part of Sydney, Australia, where there are a lot of Mongolian migrants, and they wanted to work with the Mongolian community. So between our employee and the Mongolian community in Sydney and the FRC team and the support from our distributor in Mongolia, we took that New South Wales Sydney team to Mongolia to visit 3 primary schools in fairly undeveloped areas in Mongolia to teach them about robotics.
Wow.
So we visited 3 schools, they took the kits, they took the mats, and I know now, almost 2 years down the track, they are still in contact. And we've got these beautiful videos of kids learning how to build robots in these remote places in Mongolia. Beautiful.
That is fantastic, and
Yeah.
such an exciting story. It really shows how the lasting impact that this has on students, on the community. That's just great. Can you share what the volunteer experience is like for our Rockwell employees and the students they are mentoring? I imagine it's a rewarding experience, as you kind of mentioned.
It is really rewarding. So I know for our employees, they love seeing these kids develop and grow and be inspired by technology and see the real life application.
Mm-hmm.
They also know that the kids love to see the world of work through connection with us. One of our employees said to me he loves working with kids who simplify things, because we tend to make things complex.
We do.
The kids simplify them. He's
Yes.
loved it. So it's been a beautiful experience for all of us. And what I love as a mentor of a team is I see how big the community is, and that's inspiring. So these kids have a lot of support when they go out.
Yeah, and I mean, who couldn't be inspired by all of this and the strong sense of community? And it's great to see this benefits both the students and the employees as well. So, Vidor, let's turn things over to you and chat a bit about what FIRST looks like in Brazil. You've also seen tremendous growth over the last 2 years, which is really exciting. Can you share with our viewers how you've been able to grow that presence and get to where you are today? I've heard you personally drive all over Brazil. Is this true?
Yes, it is. We drive a fair share of events throughout Brazil. The longest one was a 14-hour drive down south in January last year. It was a pretty fun bunch. We drive together in a group of 2 or 3 volunteers sometimes. And really, what made us grow was that sense of community, making the mentors themselves within Rockwell feel like they belong in a group and make them realize how they can help the kids out more than they know, right?
Yeah, that's awesome. And I mean, talk about dedication. You must get great miles on your car. But seriously, this is that's awesome and really impressive, and just something that should empower employees from anywhere to take note when learning how to grow their FIRST programs and just what it takes. Can you talk about the role that FIRST mentors play and how you've been able to create a partnership that is sustainable for Rockwell employees and lasts beyond, 1 or 2 seasons?
Yeah, in Brazil especially, we do more of a mentoring focused on their careers and how to get them into the workforce.
Right.
They can figure it out the season just fine by themselves. We get to help them too with that, but that's more for our fun and entertainment, right? The most mentoring we do is related to helping them grow as persons, helping them figure out what college they're going to do, how to apply for that, how to get into the workforce. We just hired our first intern that came from the mentoring program in Brazil last June, so it was pretty amazing. So helping them build those long-lasting conversations and long-lasting relationships with students themselves, not only with teams, is something that has helped us grow as a mentoring group in Brazil.
Yeah, absolutely. Community, that is like the biggest thing here in the strong sense, and you can feel it from the both of you. So now let's talk about a little deeper of the early career programs that FIRST students have and how they prepare them and the skills to transition into the workforce. Are any of these, well, you said that some of them are interested in the career, but are there any other ways that the students end up working with organizations?
Yes. Rockwell in Brazil especially, we have connected our customers with the teams as well. So most of the times our customers are in remote locations where we don't have the workforce required to do something nice for the community, but we do have an FRC or FTC team there. So what we do is we connect the customers with that team, and then we help them, their community through that team. So we donate money, we donate resources to that team, and they represent us in that region. But also the whole thing with FIRST, where they work under pressure, they work with tight deadlines, they just make sure that they gotta do what they gotta do with the other teams, think about strategies, as well as just their presence in Automation Fair, for example.
Yeah.
It's 200 students that are able to be here and see the industry, but be seen by the industry as well. So it helps a lot with that kind of connections. We never know how many of these kids are gonna be with integrators of ours in the future, or even with Rockwell itself.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And I know I always love going over and checking out the FIRST students and seeing how excited they are competing with each other. So, all right, this is the last question for you. Why do you believe our employees in Brazil volunteer with FIRST?
I think there are 3 pillars for that. The sense of belonging, just getting to know that you belong somewhere else than your work and sometimes your personal life. The pay it forward attitude. And one of the phrases that I hear them say the most is, hey, I didn't get this chance when I was their age. So I'm gonna make sure that they make the most out of it. So I didn't hear it from like only one person. I think every one of their mentors have that kind of mentality. Like, I'm gonna make sure that they have a better future than I did, a better path than I did. So that's kind of why they do it.
Yeah, that's a really good point, and I'm so happy to see that you both have built such a prominent presence of FIRST here. So, well, Caitlin and Vitor, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to discuss the global Rockwell presence with FIRST and sharing a bit more about your involvement with these programs, the phenomenal growth that you've done, and I can tell that it's just going to continue to grow. So. You both are doing phenomenal work. So if you'd like to learn more about Rockwell's involvement with FIRST and other STEM programs, you can click the link in this post. There is so much taking place at Automation Fair, and I'm thrilled that I was able to share a sneak peek at what's taking place at the show. Thank you all for watching, but don't go too far. We are streaming live the entire show. So to keep you informed with everything Automation Fair. Thank you both.
Thanks, Juliana.
Thank you, Juliana. Thank you, Kayleen.